Eric Omondi made a post, and he essentially kind of says how his whole point is that the organizers always sideline Kenyan acts. And in his statement, which you can find on Instagram, he kind of says that our demands are simple: equal treatment for Kenyan artists. We don't
Yep.
even get VIP, black tea, white tea, assorted foods, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, he's painting the picture that when Kenyan artists are performing, they don't get the same treatment as international acts.
Oh yeah, yelele mayele, oh yeah, jana nakuchukua na kuweka, mimi nikichukua nikupenda na kuwa. Ogopa, ogopa Wasanii, ogopa, ogopa Wasanii, ogopa, ogopa Wasanii.
Ayo, what's going on? What's up? Hello, hi, welcome to the 30% podcast, episode 108. Insert very cool fact about the number 108. I am Sam. I'm here with Afam, legendary Afam. He is legendary. Afam, what's up?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Are you feeling legendary today?
No, I can't lie. I'm not feeling legendary today.
Yikes. All right, let's just say you are. Yeah, man. Episode 108. We talk about the music industry on here, and we are about to do that. How was your week? What did you do? Did you do anything interesting before we get to news? The big news is.
Before we get into news, oh my god, news is a mess. But for me, I'm also a mess. No, I'm joking. I went.
They say there's truth in every. Is that a Freudian slip? Is that
no?
What did J. Cole say?
I don't know what he said, but I kind of get what you're trying to say. Anyway, Sam, I'm doing fine. And this week, what did I do? I made a bunch of music. I made a bunch of like gengetone stuff. Very, very excited about that actually. So I sent it to an artist, and yeah, hopefully we get some motion. I also ended up going for an event, which is actually really nice. Hosted by a friend of mine over here. She's called Colleen, and she has a shout out Colleen, man. She has a collective, or it's like a. I guess it's like her company. It's called Visionverse, and she started like this was her very first event in New York, and essentially it's just like underground artists and producers coming to in one space to play their music and like perform, and it's like an open mic essentially.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. I even ended up playing some of my own music, which was
Nice.
nerve-wracking, and I had to be like, oh hi, I'm Afam, but yes, I'm from Kenya, and everyone was like, okay, let's go. And then yeah, I played the music. So interesting. Like when I said I was from Kenya, like people were like, yo, there's another one dude came up to me and he was like, yo, dude, listen to TG Black. You said you're from Kenya. I was like, wait, what? And another person asked me about Zoe. They were like, yo, I know her. So, what's this song called? Project. I was like, wait. Like Zoe and TG Black have motion in New York, like because I was not expecting their names to like pop up in this place. So I was just like, wow, the music is
You never know where
widespread for real.
you never know where fans are, man. They're just pockets of people everywhere.
No, you don't. You don't.
That's
And
cool.
so I was like
That's
super.
cool.
I was like so impressed with that. I was like, wow, like in such a niche place, their names are like being mentioned. I'm just like, damn, Kenyan music to the world for real. And yeah, I think that's the most impactful thing that I did this week. Shout out to Colleen. How about you? What did you get up to?
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm exhausted, but I'm exhausted because I was out in the streets a couple of days ago. We were shooting a documentary, and we were in front of City Market, clogging up traffic, like for the whole day. Yo, Kenyans are interesting. Kenyans love to stare, man. Like okay, first of all, there was a dancer. We were shooting like a young lady dance, so that already was a big thing. Everyone just wants to look. And then she was dressed rather interestingly, to say the least.
Okay.
So there's more people. Like everyone, it was in front of the butchery.
Emphasis on least.
Well, it wasn't that bad. It was just not what you would see an average person walking around with. So she got a lot of stares, but she was cool. Shout out to her, man. She was cool. She didn't even flinch. She loves the attention. But then the guys in the butchery, they were all outside. I don't think anyone sold meat that day. It was crazy. But that was that was an interesting experience.
Okay.
Very interesting experience. And some people can be hoodlums, like we're just chilling, talking, and then I'm standing there. You need microphone. No, I'm like, bro, leave me alone.
Oh my God.
Leave me alone. Me nilikuanga msanii. I'm like, all right, I have something to record. But yeah, it was interesting. It was fun. It was fun. Shooing a lot of them away, but also engaging them.
Yeah.
And then we used some of their talents, and there was a scene where we had to improvise, and some of them needed to dance. So we're doing some Odi dancing. Bro, it's such, imagine just in the middle of the street, someone is playing reggae off a JBL speaker, and there's 5 guys dancing with one lady in the center.
Yeah,
it's just
that sounds so wholesome.
It was fun. No, it was interesting. I learned a thing about shame, and then we'll get into the music. Shame would keep you from being yourself because all the eyes are on you. But then one thing I thought about is that none of those people are probably ever going to see me again in my life. And if they do, they're not going to remember me because I'll be dressed different. I'll probably look different. So when I realized that fact, I was like, wait, why am I just standing in the corner not wanting to engage? So I did my job properly after that. But it can, for introverts, that can be a very terrible situation because literally everyone who is walking in, oh my goodness, then when we started, it was quiet. And then everyone started flooding. The moment we started like actually recording scenes, everyone showed up. It was like, oh goodness, where are they coming from? But yeah, it was good. I hope it does well. I'm looking forward to the final result. Shout out to Short Nerds and Shorts from Africa, I think is the name of the other team.
Ooh, Short Nerds. For those who don't know, Short Nerds also shot our cover picture and everything.
The photos, yeah.
Yo,
good guys over there. For all your
hit them up if
needs.
you're looking for exactly.
Well, for all your drama and news needs.
Oh my goodness, this weekend was spicy. Because let me tell you, bro, I woke up and checked my phone, and I was like, "Ooh, why is Willy Paul crying?" Because that's the very first thing I saw.
Crying?
Bro, I saw him like leaning on a stage crying. I'm like, what's happening here, Sam?
Yeah.
And then the next thing I see, he's running and trying to jump over a fence. So I'm like, what? Rewind. I need to I was sleepy. I just woke up. I'm like, okay, I don't quite understand what's happening. So I had to just rewind. And essentially what we're trying to talk about is the whole situation with Willy Paul, Furaha City, and Diamond Platinums. Because everybody's been talking about it, and it's kind of been sensationalized in the media. So, Sam, where do we even start? Because honestly, I feel like there's just so many different perspectives that it's so confusing. And if you are not there, you don't really have like a full handle on exactly what happened and why it happened.
Yeah, and if you go on social media to check the news, you're going to get news tainted with a little bit of opinion. So you're not necessarily getting the real thing.
And some people have obvious agendas, like obviously Andrew Kibe has an agenda, and that guy's just annoying. So like there's just so many different like voices and
catching strays from you. It's Andy
he deserves to get strays from everyone. But anyway, so essentially, Furaha City, a festival that was set up to involve Kinoti, Ssaru, Meja, Willy Paul, Femi One, Rayvanny, Kaligraph, Zuchu, and the fittingly crowning point was supposed to be Diamond Platinums. And I think everything kind of went as it should have gone to start with, until one Willy Paul felt like he was barred from one William Paul Pose felt like he was barred from performing.
Yeah.
And so for me, what I gather is that he was just not allowed to go on stage. And so that ended up becoming a huge kerfuffle. People were like pushing, shoving. I saw multiple videos of like them getting into it with the security and stuff like that.
They're actually fighting, like getting physical, like actually getting physical. For real? It was crazy.
Let's get physical.
Not that kind of.
Sorry. Anyway, and so that happens, and eventually, I guess there was even I saw a video of him actually. I think it was Rayvani, I believe, who was performing a song, and he wanted to get on stage, and bro was like, people were trying to push him on, the security is pushing him off, like bro is like crowd surfing, but like it's like uncomfortable crowd surfing. I was like, bro, you need to relax. So anyway, I think he eventually gets on. He eventually gets to perform on stage.
Brought like 20 dancers with him.
It actually looked like a nice performance.
Yeah. From what I heard, his set was...
I watched a fair bit of it, and it looked like interesting. I was interesting. I was interested by what I saw. So, looked like a nice thing. And then he decided to go on a Kanye West.
That was very Kanye-esque of him to grab the mic and just give his thoughts.
Yeah. And you know what? I like the message. Charity begins at home. Sam, wouldn't you agree that charity begins at home?
Bro, but if we're being honest, that has been the story. Everyone has been crying all over, from radio to podcasts to culture commentators to art commentators. Everyone is that we need to highlight and spotlight Kenyan music and Kenyan artists, and we need to treat them as we treat international acts. Funny enough, this situation is exactly what we're talking about. But
even before we get to all that discourse, right? So he gets ushered off stage, and then apparently they start chasing him. This is where I see him trying to jump a fence, and I'm like, bro, which is
hilarious. Why was it? Where was he jumping? Was there like cops chasing him? What?
I think so. I don't know. I think it was like the security. He was trying to jump the fence.
So what's his plan?
And then his dancers.
Let's humor him a bit. What's his plan? So you jump over the fence and you keep running.
To save his life.
He's tired. He's tired from performing. He doesn't have much energy. You're going to jump the fence and then run how far?
It was to save his life, man. Sam, this guy was fearing for his life at that point.
That's a bit dramatic.
He does have a flair for the dramatic. I'm not gonna lie, but listen. We'll get there. So anyway, Willy Paul then gets so then there's just like a bunch of people kind of crowded there, media, and some of his girls were there as well, and they were kind of asking him what happened. So in the words of Willy Paul, let him explain what he felt happened.
Sijakosea mse. Nimekama hapa kufanya show juu niliitwa. You are booked. Na kidogo mkiangalia poa, nataka muangalie venye asome kwa kini downplay. Hii show niliitwa na the owner. But ni kama the rest walikuwa against it, unaona? Shame on them. Ukienda uangalie hiyo show, utaona picha yangu hadi kwa billboard imekuwa ndogo. Ikipromotiwa siko. Na hakuna mse nimekosea. Yaani Kenya mko na export hapa hivi. Wasa wakini support walai. Mimi naweza fika huko juu, na understand? But imefika place Kenya ukiwa mdeadly, ukiwa unafanya the right thing.
They want to bring you down.
How do you feel?
Kill it.
Willy Paul, Usilie, manze.
Shame on Diamond. Shame on Willy Raburu. Diamond is a big artist, internationally recognized. Nimsame inspire wengi, including myself. Sasa ni uchungu gani alikuwa anasikia nikipanda stage before yeye? Mimi namheshimu kama star, nikimkaten raise ni sawa. Wakuje wapate mimi niko nafaa kuingia around 11:30 12, wanakataa, wanakazia hadi tunapigwa na Wakenya wenzetu magari.
And you were supposed to perform before Diamond. You were supposed to perform mbele yake.
Ni nini watu wanaogopa? Mimi nakubali wasanii wanoma. Kila mtu ni mnoma kwa.
Pia wewe ni mnoma. You're the best. You're the best.
Usilie pose. Usilie. No, I'm not laughing. So anyway,
Laughing
so,
at my guy's pain. Pose.
No, I'm not. I promise. I'm not. I promise.
Pose. You are
Okay,
supposed to perform. The ad-libs of that video is hilarious just because it's just blind support.
No, listen.
Everyone there was
The
on
situation is a
his
bit
team.
funny.
There's no
The
objectivity
situation
there.
is a bit funny, but it's not funny. So we're just laughing because
It's hilarious,
but
man.
it's not funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway, so at this point, Willy Paul is essentially saying that they blocked him from going on stage, and he's insinuating that Diamond Platinums is kind of the driving force behind this whole thing.
Yeah.
So his focus is more on Diamond and less on the promoters and the
Promoters on the
organizers.
show itself. Yeah. His angle, or rather, one of the angles of this whole thing, like you said, there's a whole bunch of different angles. One of the angles is that why is Diamond refusing to perform after him? Like, what's Diamond? What do you think it is, by the way? Like, why would Diamond not want to perform after? Because that's why this whole thing started, before he started like forcing himself on stage, and fans calling his name. Why would Diamond not want to perform after him? Is it I want to be the closer? Because the closer is seen as the most important position, or is it just ego?
It doesn't make sense to me either, because like, why are they fighting over who gets to perform before the other? Like, because I feel like, and somebody put a comment about this, like, I felt, well, my understanding was that people would rather be the closer of a show than the curtain raiser, but for some reason, it seems like either of them wanted to perform before the other.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make sense. Like,
I mean, if
why?
it's late, so if I'm just like thinking through it, if it's late, I would think that you want to perform last because you still have more retainment. Because if let's say Diamond decided, okay, I'm performing before Willy Paul, Diamond's fans will be like, okay, I came for Willy Paul. I came for Diamond. So once he's done, I'm leaving. So then Willy Paul now performs in front of less people. So you want to be at the last because there's a higher chance of you performing in front of more. It's like ego games. In all honesty, I don't think there's much to it.
So let's listen to what Diamond Platinums has to say. So essentially, everybody has given their 2 cents on this situation. Erico Mondi did. So Erico Mondi made a post, and he essentially kind of says how his whole point is that the organizers always sideline Kenyan acts. And in his statement, which you can find on Instagram, he kind of says that our demands are simple. Equal treatment for Kenyan artists. We don't even get VIP, black tea, white tea, assorted foods, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, he's painting the picture that when Kenyan artists are performing, they don't get the same treatment as international acts. And so Diamond Platinums is in the comments, bro, like just typing. And he says, siwezi kusema waandaji walipatia kila jambo, ila kiukweli kwenye show ya jana organizers hawakuweka ubaguzi kwa wasanii kwa Kenya kabisa. Kina Kaligraph Jones na wasanii mbalimbali walifanya show zao vizuri sana na waliua sana. Uhalisia ni kwamba kijana alikuwa ana force kutengeneza kiki, hususan hususan ya kumhusisha Diamond ili apate trends. And we all know he has been trying to do that through social media for a while, ila nampotezea. Hivyo jana aliona maybe ndio golden chance yake. So he tried to create vitu mbalimbali to get my attention. Kulazimisha kuonekana labda anaonewa kwa kadhurumiwa just to get the public sympathy trends. Na ndio maana yeye hataji mtu yoyote. Kila sentence anataja Diamond tu as if I was the event organizer. But the truth, si vyote ni vya uongo.
My guy might have points.
So essentially Diamond is saying, he's saying that, bro, this guy's just using my name. He's using my name for clout.
Yeah.
He's using my name for clout.
That was the easiest angle for him to go through, honestly. That's like an easy way out. is to say that. It's an easy way out.
And he also says he's going to release a statement. So at the time of recording, he hasn't. But I assume by the time this podcast comes out, he does release that statement. What do you think? Do you think Diamond has a point here? Do you think Willy Paul is trying to get his name in the same sentence as Diamond Platnumz? Because to be honest, Diamond Platnumz is a big artist, and I feel like he's one of the biggest artists in East Africa. Yeah, do you think his argument holds some weight?
I don't care much about his argument just because he refused to perform. Like, you can't refuse to perform. It's not like they said, okay, you're not performing, or for security reasons you're not going to go up. He refused. He decided, I'm not doing it. So you can't come and start telling us that he's clout chasing when you let your pride get in the way of giving the people who paid for the show what they paid for. So I understand his point, and that's what a lot of people, I mean, it's really divisive, right? A lot of people are talking about Willy Paul always does this. We've seen him make statements and go at other artists directly, seemingly for nothing, just out of the blue, and that always comes off whenever anyone does that. It comes off as a little bit clout chasey, like you're looking for clicks. But Diamond didn't perform, so you're not, man, go sit down. Tell us why you didn't perform.
Because even him is being shady. Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Him and his manager haven't said it.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't given the reason yet. And like we said, the statement is probably coming before we recorded this after we recorded this podcast. So we don't know what he has to say. But even them, they look a little bit, why didn't you all perform either? So it's a bit sketchy. Sketchy.
There's a couple of sides. There's Diamond's side, and then there's Willy Paul's side, and then there's the fan side, right? And from the fan side, it's the fans. First off, the fans were really in support of Willy Paul. They were chanting his name.
Oh yeah, it was.
Who went
it
up
was
and
so
they were
nice
like,
to
nah.
see them saying "Pose, pose, pose." It was really nice.
Yeah, when he was calling up Diamond, they were like, "No, we want Willy Paul first." Which if you think about that, Diamond would be like, okay, if all these people are chanting for Willy Paul, right? And I think maybe that's what happened. He's seen all these guys are chanting for Willy Paul. If I come on stage, if Willy Paul comes on stage, majority of them are going to be like, all right, this is what I came for, and then he's going to leave. And probably he didn't want that.
It's like when Camp Flogno happened a few years ago, and for some reason everybody thought that the final act was gonna be Frank Ocean.
Yeah,
but instead Drake comes out.
I remember that.
You remember? Yeah, you remember that. And then people were not fucking with it at all. Drake even said, "It's easy. I'm off. I'm out." So I think I think maybe that was the fear. Maybe the fear was that like people wouldn't be fucking with his performance.
Yeah, but professionalism though, right? You've been paid for this. Why would you let your ego get in the way of the show? Then we're going to get to the promoters, because this also could have been.
So wait, before we even get there, so there are three kind of thoughts of. There are three streams of thinking right now.
Yeah.
One of them is a bit of an annoying angle, which, like I said, everybody's chiming in on this conversation. So Andrew Kibe and the rest. So him is saying, whenever I see the cabal of Kenyan content creators go left, I go right. Willy Kadi, okay, I'm not going to say that, was wrong. And if he has any brains, he needs to apologize to Diamond ASAP and the other TZ artists he offended with his childish outbursts. We can't treat guests like that. So essentially, he's trying to say that, Willy Paul, stay in your lane.
Yeah. Small boy.
You're a small artist. Even MP Salasia, I don't even know why he's commenting on this, but he is. And he's like, Diamond has recorded over 1,000. I guess
Get some impressions on social media.
That's clearly what he's doing. Some have picked, some haven't. I wanted to ask Kenyan musicians to work hard. Watoa ngoma mingi, and they should work more and spend more of their time in studios. So these guys are saying that Kenyan artists are small artists and they shouldn't be complaining when big artists come to the country and get
and mess up their shows or cause trouble.
Treatment. Yeah. So
that's a dumb point though, isn't it?
I don't agree with this.
That's a dumb point.
Line of thinking.
Because they've worked hard enough to get on the lineup for this show. So
yes,
they shouldn't enjoy what they've earned.
Get treated well. Yeah.
That's a dumb point.
So
Anyway.
so that's the first. So that's one line of thinking. The other line of thinking is what you were about to get into, which is the organizer's point. So
Yeah.
like I said, a lot of people, including Eric Omondi, are like very, very upset at the organizers of this show, Willy Raburu, etc. Do you think? What do you think? Do you think this is their fault for the, or do you want to read the statement that they put out?
I mean, before we read the statement, I feel like a show should never get to the point where it's getting physical. Now they're going to say that Willy Paul was the inciter of like the physical, and he was actually like fighting and pushing and shoving. But then that's not safe for the fans if we're just being real. Something can go left, someone could throw a punch, and then Willy Paul does a nice matrix duck, and then boom. A young man has been socked in the face and now he's bleeding. So that's kind of crazy. So I feel like I don't know, because again, we weren't there, so I don't know how they handled that situation, but bodyguards had to like restrain people and stuff like that. That's always dangerous. Like you don't want to go to a show and then be caught in the middle of that.
I don't know why are all our shows such a mess? Like
we just talked about this last week and then the previous week. Like it's just
bro, it's always something. There's always something wrong going on. Like what's happening?
No, we need an overhaul, man. Oh, like I said, we need a couple of people who want to do it right, and then let artists and what do you call it, fans and artists alike trust them, because it's weird though. It's crazy because again now, and we keep getting this. People keep coming back. Like they won't leave Kenya alone. We keep coming back. Burna Boy is slated to come later on. Kenya has its history with Burna Boy, anyways.
Because it's profitable. This is, bro. Do you know they said they showed a statistic of the top 5 places that listen to Vybz Kartel music, and number 5 was Kenya.
Right.
No, Sam. Our market consumes a lot of music, which is so fucking interesting, considering that we don't have the biggest artists. Oh my God, Sam. I think that point alone, is. That we can do 3 podcasts about why that is, and it's why our podcast is named the way it is. But anyway, so what do you think about that statement that Furaha City put out?
The statement,
and them not just mentioning.
Do you want to?
Willy Paul?
I don't have it. That's what really what I was going to focus on. I don't know if I want to read the whole.
We don't need to read the whole statement, but essentially, they just don't name Willy Paul, and they apologize for Diamond Platinum's not.
The way it's worded, they go out of their way to not name Willy Paul.
To call him another artist
after Willy Paul is not so hard to type after you've typed Diamond Platinums. Like you took an extra, I don't know if they threw in the Z there, but then you took the extra trouble to type in that Z, and you can't just put Willy Paul in there. It's weird. It shows that. And probably this is what Willy Paul was talking about, is that these guys are not our Nitambui. Like they're not. They don't that. Like he has, when you look at their statement, he has a point in like why would they do that on their own statement.
Yes, I agree. It makes them seem like they did some wrongdoing, right? Because why wouldn't you mention him? It's like they're avoiding to bring up the main topic of conversation, which is why was Willy Paul being mistreated?
Or they would have handled it differently, and they didn't. They probably didn't handle it. This is them again, probably putting the blame on someone.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's. I mean, unfortunate for them, and I guess all the other people who have been affected by this. I don't know how it's going to work in terms of like if they've paid Diamond now, does he get his money regardless whether he chose to perform or not?
I don't know, but like he didn't perform, but I'm pretty sure he's still gonna get his bag because I just
how these guys do is they usually collect like half upfront or something. I don't know how they do it, but then I'm sure they get like some sort of like a deposit or something like that.
Yeah, like a deposit. Yeah,
and then they pay the rest.
So
yeah.
No, I was just gonna say. So the third line of thinking is: so we've gone through the people who are pro Diamond Platinums. Those guys are just trying to get clicks. We talked about the angle against the promoters, which is a very decent one. And then there's the people who are just downright hating on Diamond Platinum. So a lot of people are like, so this is one director, Trevor, who says Diamond Platinum has shown us clear disrespect. Despite Kenyans being some of his biggest supporters, we've streamed his music, packed his shows, and celebrated him more than his own country ever has. It's time we rethink and start prioritizing our artists, talented Kenyans who truly deserve our support. Let's invest in their growth and give them the spotlight they've earned. To promoters, let's see who will risk their money on someone who clearly undervalued the very people who helped him shape his career. So, Sam.
I mean, just quick stats. Pause. Sorry, before you ask the question, just keep that thought. Quick stats. So Diamond Platinum's on. We're just going to go with Spotify because it's the most popular, right? He has 1.2 million followers, 1.3 million monthly listeners. His top listeners is Nairobi with 127,000 listeners, and then after that is Lagos with 59,000, and then Dar es Salaam is third with 41,000, then Abuja, and then Johannesburg. So most of his listeners come from Nairobi. So if there's anything, he should treat Nairobi like it's his business, his place of work kind of deal. Sorry, continue what you're saying.
I lost my
I'm so sorry. Oh no. My bad, man. You're going to ask a question. No, you're going to ask a question.
I know I was, but I've completely lost my train of thought. But just picking up on that. Okay, do you think I think I remember. Do you think Diamond Platinum has been disrespectful? Or do we not know enough to even answer that question?
No, we know enough. Okay, the simple and the honest and the truthful answer is we don't know enough. But then if we really thinking about it as a fan, and if we're just doing some mental exercises, right? The reason, for me, it all hinges on the reason he refuses to perform. And that we haven't been told. Everyone is dancing around
which
that
we
issue.
don't know.
Yeah. But from what we can see, honestly, to me, and this is just me, I don't think it's anything business related. I feel like this is more of a social game, more of like an ego play. And if that, then that's disrespect. Get your ego out of the way. People paid your biggest fan base. Well, if you're going by Spotify's numbers, your biggest fan base is Nairobi, and you have a show here. Why won't you just put your ego aside and support? And on their statements, they'll be like, oh, I've been a supporter of Kenyan music, or champion. And this is, you're saying what you're not doing, essentially. I don't even get what I'm saying. Like, he's talking about supporting Kenya, but then he doesn't want to perform because a Kenyan will perform before him. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, but his manager, Salam, kind of says that Willy Paul had a issue with Zuchu, and that was where the issue started.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. There's just so much going on. I like what?
Well, we know what we know, so we can only go off what we know. People would create narratives to get out of things, so I don't trust them.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, so what's come out of this whole situation? Eric Omondi, who we've said has been very vocal about this whole situation, they released a video with Pose about them kind of setting up a show for Valentine's next year, which is apparently going to fall on a Friday, which is also
That's a weird day for Valentine's.
Fast.
Valentine's, I feel like, is a Wednesday. Friday.
It's always like a Wednesday or a Tuesday. I know what you mean.
Bruh.
I know what you mean.
It's a weekend.
Well, let's see how that goes. Hopefully, that works out well, and if it does, then at least something good came out of this whole situation. Listen, make lemonade with lemons.
What good came out of the situation?
Lemons, huh?
What good came out of it?
I'm saying, if they end up organizing that event for Valentine's and it ends up being a success, then they made lemonade with lemons.
What if that event? This is lead because we're just skeptics, right? What if this is? Oh no.
Well, that would be a nice conspiracy theory, and I do love me a conspiracy theory, Sam. I do love me some conspiracy.
Man, what if?
Hey.
Yeah.
Some of the conspiracy theorists might say Willy Paul has a flair for the dramatic.
He
And
does. And he's always trying to capitalize off other people. And
this would be a fire rollout for a show. I'm not gonna lie. But listen, that's just like a conspiracy theory. It would never be an actual reason
not at
for
all.
anything. So
Not at all.
hey, listen, guys.
Yeah. We hope anyone who went there to see Diamond, you're not sad that you didn't get to see.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get your money back. I don't think so. But I don't know, take your L and play some songs off Spotify. Yeah, Spotify.
Anyway,
let's get.
that was a I respect it.
Let's get into Spotify.
I respect
let me
that
cook.
segue.
Why won't you just let me cook?
No, I said I respect it.
No, I know. You be wanting to do all the segues, and I've been learning since Spotify screwed up. They screwed up with this year rap. So everything. Let me preface, and then I'll let you go, Afam, because I know you have strong feelings. Every year for the past couple of years, since that intern claims that she always, have you noticed she always goes viral everywhere because she always claims that she's the one who started Spotify rap. So yeah, there's no proof of that. We'll believe you. So every year Spotify shows Wrapped, where it rounds up your year in terms of what you've been listening to, the number of hours, your favorite songs, your favorite artists, genres. Start throwing the horoscopes in there, and all of that. So this year Spotify came out, and immediately, I'm talking immediately, everyone went online to bash them. Afam, why do you think Spotify was getting as much hate as they did when they gave us what we wanted? They gave us what we wanted. We wanted to see how many times you played Drake, and they showed you. Why do you have a problem with it?
I don't have Drake on my Spotify. Just want to put that out there. I think the annoying thing with this year's Wrapped was it just felt half cooked, half baked. I feel like they didn't put as much effort as they usually do, or they did like in the past 2 years, especially. I think 2022's Spotify Wrapped was my favorite one.
Are we ranking Spotify Wrapped?
Yeah, but 2023
doing a top
was
5
also
Spotify
good.
Wrapped is crazy.
But this one was horrible. It was like, here y'all go, just take it. Like,
leave me alone.
Like, stop bothering me. Yeah, leave me alone. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I feel like they just kind of generated this shit with AI. I can't even lie. It just felt so AI made.
And it wasn't as straightforward. People had to log off, log back in, update their app, delete I don't know what, create a new. It was just a lot of hoops that you had to jump through to get it, which seemed like it's more difficult than we had to do previous times, I guess.
And I feel like they didn't like really go in with the statistics as much as they usually do. It just felt very like it felt very basic, like compared to what we've received like in the past.
Yeah.
But anyway,
and a lot of another thing, a lot of the information that they put out, many people, hordes of people came out saying that it's definitely wrong. Like, that's weird. Like, it's not accurate.
Well, that's an interesting. So that I feel like that has been an issue like for the past like many years, because I feel as though there are times I've had artists on my Wrapped and I'm like, how? Because I haven't listened to them as much, and I feel like there's industry games at play. And listen, we've seen this lawsuit from Drake claiming that UMG had a deal with Spotify. I wouldn't put it past them to finesse things to have artists in your list to make them appear bigger than they actually are. You know what I mean? Because like, if you plant, the one who we've always said, Drake, if you plant him in everybody's Wrapped and everybody's posting that on their story and everyone sees, oh wow, Drake is in everyone's like top 5, then it makes Drake look like a big artist. You know what I mean? So I do feel like there is some level of manipulation there. But hey, Sam, do you want to get into like each other's Wrapped?
Sure, let's do that. This is ridiculous. Like, I finally got in this morning to my Spotify Wrapped, and I was just so disappointed. It was such an well, it's not an anticlimax, because if I'm honest, I don't know why everyone was so invested in.
Same.
Why are we so invested in
Even me,
someone
I'm
who is in
not-
bed with the labels? Like, why?
I don't care about it anymore. Like, I feel like Spotify Wrapped is now turning into like the YouTube Rewind, and people are kind of getting tired of it now. So, Sam, I want to just say how many minutes I listened to of music. I listened to 32,575 minutes of music, which puts me in the top 10% of listeners worldwide. But I generally think I don't listen to that much music. I think my number is low compared to a lot of the numbers I've been seeing. Do you have your minutes listened?
Yeah. Well, so this is what I'm saying. It's inaccurate, because Spotify told me I listened to music I listened to 22,799 minutes. I can assure you that it's entirely more than that, because of my patterns of playing music. I used to play music alone through my like when I'm walking around, but then I started playing music a lot in the house. So if anything, it should have gone up from last year's, which was it 40 or 60? I don't remember what it was, but then it was pretty high. Well, high relatively to.
Mm-hmm.
So that I feel like they got completely wrong in terms of my minutes listened. I don't know whether the tools they're using are accurate anymore, or because it's strange.
I don't know. So my top song was "Spit It Out" featuring Rochelle Jordan by K Tranada. I listened to this song 55 times, which puts me in the top 0.005% of listeners worldwide who listened to this song. That's like, it's just like my favorite.
It's like a special
like,
FM streaming farm.
Bro, I love that
is.
song so much. You don't understand. I've listened to it so many times. What was yours?
Oh, so did you want to did you just go through 1 to 5, and then I'll give my 1 to 5?
Okay, sure. So my top song, as I've just said, was "Spit It Out." My second song, I should have done from 5 to 1. Anyway, it's fine. My second song is "Nothing" by Foster Nix. Foster Nix is the artist I manage. So yes, I am a fan of my artist's music.
Or you're running
Number 3. Maybe. Number 3 is "New Lover" by Meta. Love Meta. That's also produced by
Meta is fire. Meta is fire.
Meta is so
I like her too.
fire. That's like, wow, she is amazing. Number 4, I know this song came out a long time ago, but it still goes hard, is "In the Air" by Destin Conrad. Like, I know that song came out years ago, but I love it. And number 5 was Diani by Iana and Andia, which I produced.
How come you're running a streaming farm?
I love my own music. What can I say? What can I say?
Oh man, my guy is trying to boost his numbers. Hey, I'm not mad at it. You have to go ahead. You have to do it.
Yeah, how about you? What is yours?
All right, I'll start from number 5. Number 5 was a song called "Ever Blessed" by Rima. It's a reggae song.
Mm-hmm.
That's so dope. Number 4 was "Rose Petals" by Eskari. Dang, I feel like that should have been higher because I listened to that song a lot. Really enjoyed that one. Have you heard of Eskari? No. Number 3, and this one I'm kind of like, but okay. It was "Everybody Can't Go" by Benny the Butcher and Kyle Banks off Benny the Butcher's. Well, he's like, this guy dropped so many albums, but he dropped an album earlier in the year. Produced by Hit Boy. So Hit Boy and Alchemist, I think. So that's there. Number 2 is 40 Side with Nas. This one is wrong. This one shouldn't be in there, but I did listen to the song a lot. It's a cool song. It's off the third project. You remember when he was having that run? Yeah, so it's off that. And then number 1, I told when we were doing the episode of Get to Know Us on the 100th episode, I said that my number 1 song was going to be Nick Calibris at Dusk by Ben Howard, and it did not disappoint. So I am just a Ben Howard guy. I was 0.0005 top listeners of him. I listened to the song like 50 sometimes. It's crazy.
Did you pay attention to the Spotify My 2024 music evolution? Did you pay attention to those ones?
I didn't, but I can look through it. I have it up. I have it up here.
Okay.
I can look
Well,
through it.
they said my October was vlog ballroom alte because in October I apparently only listened to artists like Odunsi the Engine, Cruel Santino, and Dila. So Sam, I am Mr. Vlog. You just call me Mr. Vlog Ballroom Alte.
I'm not calling it that.
That's me. That's who I am.
I'm not going to call you that. Mine is showing me that it seems like month from month I was listening to completely different things. I don't know how they counted that because I was only listening to Ben Howard every single month. But I listened to 3,191 different artists this year. That's pretty cool. Speaking of that, let's do our top artists. Let's get into
Okay.
the top.
Easy. So number 5 is, by the way, it's gonna be a lot of the same artists from my top listen to songs. So number 5 is Meta. I just have to shout out my girl Meta because, bro, listen, Meta and Ketranada, Matranada, that's what they be calling themselves when they release music together. It's one of the best combinations, honestly. And she released an album called Endless Night that, bro, I have listened to this album so many times. This is my 7 songs, 21 minutes. Sam, if you know me, you know that's perfect. That's the perfect amount of...
That's the perfect amount.
I will pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Like, you know me. So, yeah, bangers like DJ Got Me, New Lover, Endless Night. Like, there's no skips. Mustang Sally. Oh, anyway, shout out to Meta. I love Meta. Number 4, Destin Conrad, bro. Like, what more do I have to say about Destin Conrad? Like, he recently released a song called Nosebleed. Insane. And yeah, just been listening to the classics because bro is killing it. Number 3, Femi Guerrero. Now, listen. The UK underground scene is having a moment right now. And honestly, I think it's the most exciting thing in music, like trap music, like whatever it is, just underground. And Femi Guerrero is a big part of that. So they recently released an an album called Conglomerate. It was Femi, Len, and Lancey Fu. And I was listening to that heavy. But I think my best songs this year were Mandy, Vogue, and what's the one where he's speaking in French? Anyway, you guys know the one I'm saying. Not to excuse my French, I forget what it's called. Anyway, Ménage à Trois. Yeah, that one. So shout out to Femi, and all my UK guys. Number 2 is Ketranada. I don't even need to speak more about Ketranada. Ketranada is just insane. And number 1, Mr. Streaming Farm. Number 1 was Foster Dix. I just like his music.
Put his stuff on and loop it and then you go to bed. Is that what you be doing?
No.
Because I'm not judging you.
I would never do that. No, I would never do that, Sam. No, I was just listening to a lot. Because when we release music, I'm generally like, wow, like, damn, we actually made this. So,
yeah. I get that feeling. Like, we need to act like we've been here before. We're fanboying our own music. That's kind of crazy. That's what keeps your beats in your hard drive because you only want to listen to them and not go forward. At least me. Cool. That I'd say I'd expected. That's expected from your list. Like, there's nothing that jumped out to me as crazy. Like, it all made sense. I thought I'd see more trap in there, but then I don't know if you listen to trap anymore.
No, I don't listen. Nah, bro, me, I'm more R&B nowadays.
Yeah. My top artists. So this, first off, I want to say this list is completely wrong. Just because I know what I was listening to. But number 5 is Ben Howard. That makes sense. Because of that one song. Actually, no, he has a bunch of good songs, but that one song is the one that carried. Number 4 is Benny the Butcher. Did I? Because now I'm starting to shuku myself. Like, did I play his album that much? I didn't. I liked like 2 songs on it, so it couldn't be.
Clearly, you did.
It can't be that high up. Number 3 is Bryan Adams. Shout out to him. Number 5 is Benny the Butcher. Number 5 is Howard. 4 Benny. 3 is Bryan Adams. Number 2 is Marubu State, which is my favorite band of all time currently. Number 4.
I believe they were also in your list last year.
Yes, yeah. Very consistent. Even Nick, my top song is the same top song that was in my list last year. And then number 1 is Bruce Broughton, who is a film scorer. And he scored a whole bunch. He scored
your lists are always so diverse.
He scored Baby's Day Out, Homeward Bound for Disney, and a bunch of other stuff. So
Baby's Day Out. Wow.
Do you remember that? No, you need to go back and listen to
that.
Score.
Is that the one where they were? No. That's Baby Geniuses. Baby's Day Out was the one
Baby
where
Geniuses. I remember that too. Is the one where the baby got
Baby Geniuses was
a bunch of thieves were trying to steal the baby because he came from a rich family and they thought that was yeah.
Bro, but can we talk about Baby Geniuses and how that was everything to me as a kid? That that made
Baby
that
Geniuses
movie.
was it.
I wonder.
Did you watch so Baby Geniuses and Cats and Dogs? Did you watch that one? Was it Cats and Dogs?
Oh, Cats and Dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, I know the one you're saying. The one where like they were like fighting against each other.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Sam, I need to watch these movies again. You have opened up, and these are such like movies to watch in Christmas, the festive period. I'm watching them. Thank you for reminding me.
But yeah, that was it. Honestly, it was a very anticlimactic Spotify Wrapped. It's a rap for Spotify Wrapped.
Look at this comedian. Wow.
Oh man, let's get into new music.
It could be the app to spy on your partner. It could be the app to spy on your partner. It could be the app to spy on your partner. Oh, bro, Ssaru, the queen of Genge. She dropped an EP. And what did you feel about it, Sam?
It was interesting. I haven't really listened to a lot of her music except some of the collaborations she's done. I haven't like listened to her music or like a project of hers. Let me actually find out. I don't know. Is this her first project or no? Or has she had like other like not by project I mean like either EP or sorry, just give me a second. She's been doing a whole bunch of singles. So this is like in a long time. Her releasing a bunch of projects. Actually, this might be her first. Anyway, Ssaru, Queen of Genge. Interesting. First off, I'll just be honest with you. The album art for me, I was like, I don't know. It was too much. It's doing too much. If we're actually giving like a review, the album art was doing too much for me.
It's not bad.
I get the concept. It's a lot. Anyway, I'm a stickler for album art, so but maybe it was not for me. Let me say that. Number 1, Shaolin. Shaolin was interesting. Boutros was on there, Furthermore on there, and Masauti. That was, and then Harry Chris. That was an interesting collaboration. Spy Up was that's the one you keep bringing up. Spy Up was
that's a hit. That's a hit.
I think that's the hit.
I will not accept anything else. That's a hit right there. They just need to do a video.
Spy Up, yeah.
Because the lines, if you even see the lines that Munga was saying, they're so out of pocket, but they're the kind of thing that like go viral. So Spy Up, if they're gonna do a video for us for any song on this project, that's the one.
Spy Up. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't know if it needed Kaligraph Jones, because he even came on at like 3 minutes, and I don't know whose attention is going to stay long to that song. People just want to
I don't know if
again.
Anything needs Kaligraph Jones.
Right.
Anyway,
number 3. You're such a hater. That's prime hate. Number 3 was Baba. That one wasn't for me.
Best believe my version. Sorry, you best believe my version of that song is 4 minutes long. Anyway, go ahead, Sam.
Such a hater. Baba was Baba is like Ssaru and Furthermore's like their marquee collaboration.
They're a duo. I feel like they're a duo at this point. They just need like
that kind of duo. So that was that song.
Name, yeah.
I wasn't too hard. That would be low on my list of their collaborations. Come Vilona, Come featuring Trio Mio and Timothy. I'm cool off that one. I'm cool. Nataka featuring Masauti, Ssaru and Masauti. This one was interesting. She tried something different. It was more of like a hip hop beat. The beat itself, but it was more of like a love.
It was a love. Yeah, like she was very wholesome.
She got into her love bag, which wasn't very different from her usual bag, but she tried to sanitize it a bit, clean it up. It was less ratchet. We appreciate her for that. So that was interesting. The beat I felt like was a little bit too simple. I feel like maybe they could have done a little bit more with that. And then number 6, Fall in Love. I see what she did. So towards the end, it was ratchet at the beginning, and then she kind of smoothed it up. Maybe she's coming through with some new music. That's more geared towards
Maybe she is.
the lovers
For
in
me,
the house.
for me, I think the one Nexus. If you're a producer, you know what I'm saying. These guys use Nexus on everything here. Shout out to Vic Twende. Yeah, I think there was more emphasis on the first 3 songs of the project than the last 3 songs on the project. There was more like effort, in my opinion, to those songs. But yeah, I mean, if anything, I think they have a song that could do really well with Spy App. So I mean, if 1 out of the 6 songs does really well, then that's a win. And the first one, Shaolin, might also do really well just because of all the names on there. You know, Father
On
Mo,
there, yeah.
Boutros. So yeah. So if you get 2 songs that do really well and take off like on TikTok or whatever off of an EP, then you're not doing badly. So shout out to Ssaru. What else came out?
What else came out? Just highlight a couple of things. Let me highlight some other projects. Colossal Music, because it's the most wonderful time of the year, I guess. Colossal Music have come out with the Christmas
It's
EP.
the most wonderful time of the year. Sorry.
It's the most cliche. It's called A Colossal Christmas. Number 5 songs. Honestly, I think some of the songs are AI. If I'm being completely honest with you, I feel like some of these songs were AI. People are using Sonar. So what's it called? Sonas? What's the AI app that you can create the songs? Yeah. I think it's Sonar. And I think some of these songs, like the last one, Oh Holy Night, the bonus, maybe even Tears of Wonder, like it was very AI-ish. I don't know. We still don't know what colossal music is. That's what I'm talking about. We have no idea what they're doing.
I'm not gonna lie. I decided not to rack my brains over it, so I didn't think.
I need to do a deep dive.
Something
honestly.
is happening here. So
yeah, I need to ask around because it's kind of crazy. Masimba also dropped a project. I'm not very familiar with him, but no, sorry, not Masimba. Masimba is the name of the project. Muruthi Mina. Mina. I don't know how to pronounce that. Dropped a 5-song project. I'm not familiar with him, but I need to go check that out. Who else? Cardiac Poet dropped a project called Coffee and Cuddles. Yeah, I think that one's more like spoken word type joint. So that was that. VB dropped Beba Beba. VB is kind of carving out their own sound. They do like a similar type of, it's like this type of music for the songs that they're known for. So that was interesting to see how they progress. Trio Mio dropped, I want to say he dropped the 2 songs that came out this week, but I'm not, I feel like one was a little bit older. But this week he dropped.
I think one was older, yeah.
Yeah, Kuamalo I think was the old one, but then this week he dropped Wadada. Did you listen to that song?
I did.
Yeah, with Boutros and Shekinah Karen. It was interesting. I like the flow. I like the bounce of the beat. They're talking about rolling up and just having a blast with substances. So there was that. Let me see. What else? Okay, you dive in while I look into anything
Easy.
else.
I listened to Translator by Mr. Wright, aka the Pearl Harbor freestyle. Hi, ladies. If you listen to the song, you'll know what I'm saying. So shout out to Mr. Wright. I listened to Ones and Twos by Mervin Obiero. Shout out to Mervin Obiero. I really like one, he produced it himself. I really like the sample in the background. So I just want to give him his props right now. I think he did a good job. I listened to, what else did I listen to? Sabiwu. Sabiwu dropped Do the Most like fire sample. He's good at sampling, so shout out to Sabiwu. Slumberland as well.
Yeah.
And what else did I listen to? Oh yes, there's Abide by You by Otile and Fina that also came out. Mwanzo by Keithan. By the way, I want to say I've gotten used to saying Keithan now. So see, rebranding works, Sam. Like I don't feel the urge to say Ethan Muziki anymore.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it works. Okay, and lastly, I just want to shout out my girl Andia. She released a song called Let Me Go produced by Ojizo, and this is actually her debut single. She's actually not released music. All the music we've heard from Gabi is actually just like features and stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. I was actually telling her, that's very interesting. And so I love this song. I just think they did such a good job. And for this to be the first song that you're releasing, wow. Big props to you. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Andia's ceiling is super, super high. But Sam, there's just one song that we need to highlight for the end of the podcast, man. Sam, there's just one song, and that's by a phenomenal lady called Ssaru, who came up with the slap. Itakubidi up to spy on your partner. Itakubidi up to spy. I don't know why it's so catchy.
The concept is actually pretty interesting.
It's just such a catchy song, man. And Munga was saying some crazy stuff. So if you allow me, I'd like to play the song Spy Up by Ssaru featuring Domani Munga and Kaligraph Jones.
Line hapa ngegi line mwenye kusima hapa ngegi line mwenye kusima hapa ngegi line hunt happy to kubidi to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi to spy on your partner itakubidi up 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 kila unatafuta utakipata itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up kila unatafuta utakipata futa up ya kujua WhatsApp wacha kura ID maliza ingia WhatsApp tategea gidha zako siweza kupiga nap tachokora hizo apps tanipatadi kwa map cheki niko up to spy on your partner up to the sky kuna drone na kufuata na hapa kwa hapa naona mahaga wewe unataka ndogo ndogo bigi doshi unavuka mipaka lazima ni digi ndio na bigi mwambie wa super wako kitajiji mindo bibi naidigi za kwa wingi na kidigi nuru itosha hapo unapiga firimbi happy itakubidi to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi to spy on your partner itakubidi up 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 kila unatafuta utakipata itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up kila unatafuta utakipata changa kuchanganya mabali na changa juu ya bali chaga changa kwa kanta kregete tokerinyaga mimi dalwa huka na madeni Kilimani to be center Mr. Munga Njaro deadly gory since manza was younger hadi line of visit na kuitisha namba hakuna cha credit kini scratch na kubamba na sikia mbinguni tunapata mwili mpya kwa baba Yalin nakwanga handsome nikitaka Yalin spy up na kushika happy itakubidi to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi to spy on your partner itakubidi up 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 kila unatafuta utakipata itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up to spy on your partner itakubidi up kila unatafuta utakipata
wewe nika cleavage taki nilete zogo good features tajichora ndani ya rinda nilienda TZ kujitafutia goshodo Nairobi Pengs ni mali but wanaringa kwa hii city sign risky kutesa ndo pempana unatoa za whisky na chesa so unasema amekuwa tipsy ni refa na rush forward like she took a trip to UEFA Soka moms get the D, then ni peace sign. Stack is spare na ni spy kama suspect. Interest muhimu so iki decline. Then definitely I'ma tweet you like my last text. Jibu zero, no response kwa daro. Liza Pius Chumwiro na Madon Kamaru. Who's the hero? Block Mambaru, don't me bring you Jiro. Of course na Ssaru. CCTV napigia kali surveillance. Spy ndo reason shodi yako sangi ma Ray-Bans. Try basi mtukane kwa jirani ma neighbors. Pride isikufanye we ulale mteja.
Spy on your partner, itakubidi to 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 spy on your partner, itakubidi kilo natafuta utakipata, itakubidi to spy on your partner, itakubidi to spy on your partner, itakubidi to spy on your partner, itakubidi kilo natafuta utakipata.
That was Spy App by Ssaru, Domani Munga, and Kaligraph Jones. Shout out to them and shout out to the queen of Genge. Sam.
Yep.
We have done yet another podcast, man, which is kind of crazy, man. I want to thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Actually, in relation to this whole Spotify talk, a lot of people, hit us up on social media, whether it's on X or on Instagram, to kind of be like, yo, you're in my top 5 most listened to podcasts. And we just want to say thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. We are deeply grateful.
Yep. Sure. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. And yeah.
Yeah. And for the 3 C's, if you're new here, I usually give out 3 C's to end the podcast. And those are confidence, which I think all y'all need to have, because if you're not confident about your music or your art, who will be? So always be confident, always stay consistent, whether it's with the creation of the music or the art and its distribution or its release. Like, you have to be consistent. Otherwise, you just get forgotten in this world if you are not consistent. And lastly, craft. Always strive to improve on your craft. Work on your craft every day, even if it's only 5 minutes. If you only have 5 minutes to spare, everybody has 5 minutes to spare. Just do something small, and in a year, those 5 minutes every day will build up to something really potent. Sam.
Yeah, man. Just, I guess, to end it, if professionalism is a big thing, so if you're called to perform for a show, just do it regardless of who performs before you.
And with those just strong words, we'll see you on episode 109 of the 30% podcast. See y'all later.